Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how you doing over there?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Fabulous, fabulous. It's Tuesday. That means we have Tuesdays with Charlie, so make sure you tell your friends. They can gather around the radio, or if you listen on the internet, or however you listen, and everybody can chuckle together as we reach out to Heidi's dad and get informed and entertained all at the same time. A study by Dr. Richard S. Cimbalo says walking at the mall is better than a better way to burn calories than walking outside, Heidi.
Why is that?
He says women naturally walk faster in a mall and they burn more calories. The professor of psychology at Damon College in New York says malls are familiar and safe places, which helps women get a better workout. Malls offer security. They offer a well-lit path. There are restrooms and water fountains and telephones. Plus, he says many malls have organized walking groups to keep you motivated as well. So he says, hey, if you're going to go for a walk, do it at the mall. This study sponsored by Malls of America. No, it doesn't say who it's sponsored by, but would you rather
That
walk
ends
the
up
mall?
costing me more than a gym membership.
I think so, too. I don't know. He says it's better, so do whatever it is that you think. Coming up, we're going to tell you what's happening today on this Tuesday. It's all on the way.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, May the 10th. It is National Lipid Day.
I don't know what a lipid is.
I'm not sure, but it's a special day for lipids today. It's also World Lupus Day.
Don't know what lupus is.
Lipid Day and Lupus Day. And it's One Day Without Shoes Day. So you're supposed to go barefoot today. I don't think I'll do that.
That I can do. I like going without shoes.
Yeah, but walking around the office, that might be kind of weird. Especially if you have to go use the restroom. That'd be really weird. I'm like, no, I don't think so. I'm going to keep my shoes on. But I'm not exactly sure how to celebrate today. Maybe I'll skip
Not a lot to
celebrating
celebrate today.
Anyway, National Lipid Day, World Lupus Day, and One Day Without Shoes Day. It's all happening on this Tuesday, the 10th day of May.
Do you like fun t-shirts? Our friends at 80s Tees have a bunch of fun designs from the movies and pop culture. This month, we're giving you a chance to win a $25 credit to buy the t-shirt you like, with designs from Star Wars, Superman, Ghostbusters, Deadpool, and hundreds of others. Sign up to win a $25 credit. Register for free right now at winthisonline.com. We will select 2 winners at the end of this month. You could be one of them, but only if you register at winthisonline.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. This young lady was late for a job interview, but for a good reason. Shelley Klug knows it's extremely important to be on time for an interview, but she thinks that she had a good excuse for being late to hers. I won't tell you where she was applying yet. I'll tell you here in a minute. But she was busy saving somebody's life. She was on her way to an interview when she saw a woman's car smash into a pickup truck. Shelley grabbed her medical kit, crawled inside the car, stabilized the woman's neck, kept her air passage open until the emergency crews arrived. But get this, the interview that she was on her way to go to, guess where it was?
Where's that?
An emergency room.
I think we've talked about this like a year ago.
Really? Maybe this is a different one.
I don't think it is.
I think it is. I think it's a different
Okay.
Anyway, the spokesperson...
I don't know where you're finding your stories every day.
In my stack of stuff from a year ago. That's where I'm finding it. No, a spokesperson for the emergency room and the hospital said it is too early to say whether Shelley will get the job in the ER or not. I certainly don't think this is going to hurt her chances.
No, I would say that she had the job.
Unless there's somebody that's more qualified that made it to their interview on time. They stopped and saved a busload of kids, and they were still here on time. What do you think of that, Shelley? Excuses. Saving people's lives. Be on time for your interview next time. All right. Coming up here in a bit, we've got some interesting stories for your brain on drugs and your moment of duh. Got a scoop of the day coming your way. And then don't forget, it is Tuesday, so we do have Tuesdays with Charlie coming up as well. And this young lady was late for her job interview at the ER because she was saving somebody's life. And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
John W. Hill of Highview, West Virginia, was arrested near St. Louis after sheriff's deputies stopped to investigate why he was parked alongside I-70. He was shirtless, wearing an Indian vest and cargo pants and combat boots. He had several loaded pistols, an assault rifle, a 2-shot Derringer, 2 long rifles, a serious Bowie knife, 400 rounds of ammunition, and, quote, various drugs. He said only that he was headed to South Dakota to, quote, Indian country, end quote, to deliver supplies and a sack full of Bibles to the Native American children, and that he was armed because the West is, quote, dangerous. He's from West Virginia. I want to just tell you, I was born and raised in South Dakota. It's not a dangerous place.
No, it's not.
I don't know what he was expecting when he got to South Dakota, but it's not.
He's watched too many Westerns.
Apparently. Anyway, yeah. He had various drugs as well. So he was delivering Bibles, but he was doing it while clearly on some sort of drug, which is not a good thing. And kids, that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
The last story we talked about had something to do with my home state of South Dakota, and we also have lived in the state of Nebraska, and now we get to head to Nebraska for this state, Heidi, or for this story, rather. North Platte, Nebraska. Police there recently got a 911 call after a neighborhood bully gave a kid a wedgie.
Okay.
The officer was able to calm the situation, and no arrests were made. A police spokesperson says, "You might get away with that in Lincoln or Omaha, but we're not going to allow wedgies in North Platte." End quote.
There just shouldn't be any bullying allowed anywhere. There's no reason for it.
You shouldn't be given wedgies, even if it's your little brother. Don't do that. That's not nice. Growing up, I got my fair share of wedgies from my older brother, so you don't want to do that. And I just think it's a funny quote. The police officer says, "You might get away with that in Lincoln or Omaha, but we're not going to allow wedgies in North Platte."
Good for him. I think that's great.
I just find that quite humorous. We've got your scoop of the day on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. An Ohio high school student surprised his mom by asking her to prom. Trey Potter said he wanted to show his mother how much he admires her after everything she's been through in her life. She grew up living in 23 different foster care homes. She was pregnant and homeless at age 16, and she never had a chance to go to prom. So her son made her a happy little mama, and she got to go to the prom with her son. How cool is that?
That's very sweet.
Speaking of proms, high school senior Chloe Raynaud, who is heading to Oregon State in the fall, brought a cardboard cutout of Bernie Sanders as her date to prom.
Oh, good Lord. Probably has better ideas than the real one.
That's not the same response I got from the last story out of you. The hit Broadway musical Hamilton. Have you seen or heard of anything about this?
No.
It's interesting, actually. It's about Alexander Hamilton, but the hit Broadway musical Hamilton has scored 16 Tony nominations. So it must be pretty darn good. The Australian doctors are now charging patients a fee of up to $43 if they're late for an appointment. Here's my question. Can I charge my doctor $43 if he's late for the appointment?
See?
Turnabout is fair play. That's cool.
Right.
I'll pay the $43 for being late, but you should pay $43
Yep.
if you're late. I'm just saying, that's only fair. That happens in Australia, by the way. That's where they're doing that. It might surprise you that the word nice does not have a nice background. This is interesting to me. In fact, it comes from the Latin word nisus, which means ignorant. So if you're nice, you might be ignorant, according to the word. In addition to a foolish and stupid thing, the word nice in the English was spoken in the Middle Ages, and it meant wanton. I'm not sure what that means. What does wanton mean?
I have no idea.
By the 15th century, nice meant coy. 100 years later, it meant dainty. So if you're nice, that means, oh, you're very dainty. Only in the 18th century did it finally mean that you're a very nice and agreeable person. So the word nice has a very interesting background. It's not necessarily so nice. According to a study, guppies experience menopause just like humans and other animals.
How on earth would they know that?
They asked a guppy, and the guppy said, hey, leave me alone. Going through menopause.
Water starts boiling around a certain fish when they have a hot flash,
Must
or
have a
what?
hot flash over there. I don't know. Hey, many Americans refuse to believe that their bathroom scale is correct. They think that they are thinner than they actually are. A Harris Interactive Health Day survey asked participants to provide their height and their weight, and pollsters calculated their body mass index, a measurement used to indicate obesity. Those participating were then asked which category they fell into. According to Health Day, 30% were actually in the overweight category, though their weight was normal, while 70% who were obese believed that they were simply overweight. 39% of the morbidly obese classified themselves as being merely overweight. Experts are saying obesity may soon become the new norm. So saying, hey, if you're overweight, instead of losing weight, don't worry. Everybody else is going to
Sooner or
just
later,
gain
everyone else
some.
is just going to catch up with you.
We're all just going to...
Just enjoy your Twinkies.
Here's the thing. I'm actually in the process of losing weight right now because I was this, like, 2 months ago, whatever it was, I was the heaviest I've ever been in my life. And I got to go down now instead of up. Hey, when Gregory W. Casey Jr. of Maryland was accused of violating the terms of his probation, his father, also named Gregory W. Casey Jr., took the rap and got a 4-year prison term. It wasn't that big a deal because he was already serving 20 years for assault.
Oh, jeez.
When the judges discovered the mix-up, they thought the younger Casey should maybe be brought into jail. They asked what they thought of his father's actions, and he said, well, you know what? At least it shows he still cares about me. Because his dad was going to just take it. Yeah, throw those 4 more years on there. I'm fine with that. I'll serve 4 more years. Time for a strange law. Back to Nebraska. Did not know this. We lived there, and I did not know this. A parent can be arrested if his or her child cannot hold back a burp during church service. It's a good thing I didn't know that. That I had some of those people sitting around us arrested. All right, that's a strange law. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
Do you like fun t-shirts? Our friends at 80s Tees have a bunch of fun designs from the movies and pop culture. This month, we're giving you a chance to win a $25 credit to buy the t-shirt you like, with designs from Star Wars, Superman, Ghostbusters, Deadpool, and hundreds of others. Sign up to win a $25 credit. Register for free right now at winthisonline.com. We will select 2 winners at the end of this month. You could be one of them, but only if you register at winthisonline.com.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone, we call my father-in-law for a little thing we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
How you doing, Charlie?
It's Tuesday.
It is. It is Tuesday. It's always fun to chat on Tuesday. What kind of stuff we going to learn about today?
Well, let's see here. Okay, you know Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I used to live there.
Yes.
Should still be there. But if I was still there, this would play in.
Okay.
In Las Vegas, marriage licenses cost $35.
Okay.
Divorce license costs $450.
That's kind of cool.
If I was still there, I'd have had to get one of them.
No. Oh, yeah? Did you get in trouble for gambling too much?
No, but
Mom wanted to come home, and Dad wanted to stay, so there wouldn't have been much of a choice.
Oh, I see.
Mother says we're leaving. Good boy I am. I said, okay.
I'll pack my stuff.
Hey, if you keep going north, you will eventually go south.
Yeah, once you pass the North Pole.
But if you keep going east, you will never go west.
Very true. That is good to know.
And it baffles my mind, but what the hell. Here's a fortune cookie I got the other day.
Okay.
The little fortune in it.
Yeah.
Marriage lets you annoy one special person for the rest of your life.
Yes, it does.
I'm getting pretty good at it, too, ain't I, Heidi?
You're an expert.
I'm an expert annoyer.
Kung Fu guy, he was right on that one, wasn't he?
Yes.
The Kung Fu guy.
Hey, here's a medical thing. When a male bee climaxes, their testicles explode, then they die.
A male bee?
Holy cow.
I bet that hurts.
Well,
Those guys just can't win for losing. If they sting you, they die too. So, I mean, no
It's-
matter what.
rough life being a bee.
Friendship is like peeing on yourself. Everyone can see it, but only you get that warm feeling that it brings.
Oh.
Hey, do you know that alcohol is considered a performance-enhancing drug in competitive shooting?
No
kidding.
way.
Yeah.
No way. That cannot be true. There's no way that can be true.
If I told you it's true.
It's honest for darn sure. Either that or he made it up.
Alcohol and guns are a very bad combination.
Well, these guys are trained.
I can believe that it's illegal in competitive shooting, but I don't believe they look at them as performance enhancing.
Hey, I shot that. No, you didn't. You messed with me. I got it.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Oh, wow.
I got one last thing here for you.
All right,
Okay.
what's that?
I just found out why I like George Washington.
Oh, why is that?
Because he spent about 7% of his annual salary on booze.
Ah.
George Washington was a drinker, huh?
I'd have voted for him.
There you go. I'll vote for that guy, whoever he is. Well, you ready for a question, Charlie?
Whip it on me.
Almost all telephone numbers in movies and TV shows are fake numbers, and they almost always start with the same 3 digits. What are they?
555.
You got it.
Boy.
I think that was kind of a toss-up there. That was a pretty easy question for you. It is 555. Hey, how about this one here? What is the most widely grown fruit crop in the world?
Oh.
It's a little tougher. The most widely grown fruit crop in the world is...
Avocados.
No, bananas.
Oh, see, I would have said apples.
I was going to say bananas, but then I told you last week about that drug cartel with their avocados.
You should have said bananas, because then you'd have gotten 2 right. I don't think we've ever had 2 right before, have we?
No.
We're pretty fortunate to have 1 right.
I was going to say.
Well, it's a good thing. Well, Charlie, it's always a pleasure to chat with you. We'll reach out again next week, and we'll try to come up with a good question. If you've got a good question to ask Charlie, send it to us. Send it to charlie@johnandheidishow.com. It'll come to us, but then I'll know it's a question for Charlie, not a question for me. So send it to charlie@johnandheidishow.com. We'll talk to you next week, Charlie.
Bye, Daddy.
I'll be here. Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can, with a little program that we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Keystone Treatment Center. Addiction is no laughing matter. Call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-844-204-1055.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Canadian currency is referred to as CAD on the foreign exchange. So if you ever heard somebody talking about CAD, that's Canadian currency. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Tiger was the name of the family sheepdog on the Patty Duke show. And then when the Brady Bunch came out, they also named their family sheepdog Tiger. That's kind of fun. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Terry Bolla certainly had 15 minutes of fame in the 1980s, and he still gets a little here and there, his moments of fame. You know who Terry Bolla is?
I have no clue.
Hulk Hogan. Yeah, that's who it is.
Oh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Not known for his suspenders, in 1957, Lawrence Harvey Ziegler is now known for his suspenders. He's Larry King.
Oh.
His real name is Lawrence Harvey Ziegler, so he's not really a king. And finally, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Zsa Zsa Gabor slapped Paul Kramer. Remember the officer?
I do remember this.
That was in June of 1989. Can you believe that? That seems like a long time ago.
You remember what a big deal they made
I
of
know.
that, too, and what a horrible thing. Now cops are getting shot every day,
I know.
and it's nothing.
She was pulled over in a Rolls Royce for having expired plates, and she slapped him on the face. That was in June of 1989. A couple of fun facts for you on a Tuesday.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by RadioReallyWorks.com. I know you're listening to a podcast, but did you know the John and Heidi Show is also a radio show? And for those of you who have businesses, you should consider using radio to advertise your business. We can even help you create some catchy little jingles or amazing radio ads that'll help pull people in. Get all the details or just learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Do you ever find yourself saying that there just aren't enough hours in the day?
All the time.
What if I could show you how to get a half hour of extra time each and every day?
How's that?
Well, time management expert Dr. Gregory Labovitz says you can get a half hour extra out of every day by following a couple of simple tips. Number one, throw out junk mail without opening it.
I do that all the
If
time.
you look at it and go, I don't need this, just throw it away. Next, make all of your phone calls at the same time. So keep a list of people that you need to reach out to, and before you sit down, go through and call them, and then when you're done, put your phone away and don't make more calls. Next,
I like that one. That could give you an extra 6 hours a day.
More than that. Next, run all of your errands in one trip. If you're going to get the kids at school, that would be a good time to stop at the post office or the grocery store. Make one trip instead of 4. Finally, keep a grocery list of things you need around the house. Keep it on you. So have a list that you add to all the time, so that way, next time you go to the store, oh, hey, I need all of these things too. And then the last thing on the list, schedule your least interesting tasks for your peak energy periods. Everybody out there has a time where they maybe don't want to do something, but they got to do it. Oh, I got to clean the house. I got to mow the lawn. Put these things when you're tired. If you do that, if you do these things when you're tired, you're more likely to make them drag on even longer. So they're saying your peak energy time, when you're like most awake, if you do them then, you get them done faster, and then you might not hate it as much. So there you go. Not my tips, but I agree with some of that. Dr. Gregory Labovitz is the guy. He's a time management expert. Something that I've been doing, and I did this accidentally, and then I found out how nice it worked. I turned my ringer off when we're on the radio here. I try to remember to do that. And then I realized if I just leave my ringer off, I see my phone ring once in a while, and I'll still answer it, but a lot of the calls that I get on my phone, for whatever reason, I get a ton of people calling saying, would you like to change your credit card processing?
Yeah, we don't even have credit card.
I had another
processing.
company that's calling me saying, we'd like to help you change your, what was it? We're with your credit card company. That's what she said.
And we don't have any
and
credit
I said,
cards.
which credit card company is that? Well, we're with your credit card company. I said, I don't have a credit card. And then she hung up. I don't get any of those anymore because they don't leave voicemails. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to screen all my calls from now on. It's kind of cool. That saves me more than a half hour right there. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you want to buy or sell an RV, go to RVRealtor.com. List your RV for free. Learn more at RVRealtor.com.
Interesting story here. A couple of guys were standing in line at the DMV in California, and they became pals because, hey, we're standing in line, we're chatting, a couple of teenage boys. And they were talking to the man in front of them and asked him, hey, when we get done here, can you give us a ride somewhere? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So they all finished at the DMV. Before the man could go anywhere with him, though, the boys pushed him out of the vehicle and stole his car. It didn't take the police long to track the two down because they were all just inside getting their photos taken.
My gosh.
And their current address was on their license that was just renewed.
What a bunch of idiots.
Yeah. So they all met in the line, getting their photos taken at the DMV, and then they stole the guy's car.
And then they wonder why there aren't more people that do good deeds because of stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, you don't do that. That's
Try
a
to do something nice for somebody. And
Yeah, do something nice. Don't do something nitwitted and stupid like that. I don't know if that's a word or anything. But anyway, coming up, going to talk about doctors' handwriting and the problems that's causing. It's on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Hey, have you ever had difficulty reading your doctor's handwriting, Heidi?
I guess I don't really go to doctors very often, so I wouldn't know.
Help is on the way for the physicians. Dr. Paul Hackmeyer, Chief of Medical Staff at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles, begun a course to teach doctors how to write quickly and legibly. 2 handwriting experts from Oregon will hold a one-day course at the hospital on cursive writing. Better handwriting will help everybody. Dr. Hackmeyer says not only the patient, but the nurses and the secretaries who have to field phone calls and questions from pharmacists trying to decipher what the heck the doctor's writing.
Yeah.
Could also save lives, Heidi. Listen to this. This is the scariest thing. Studies have shown that medical errors and medication errors account for more than 7,000 deaths every year.
Yikes.
A woman won a lawsuit because her husband died taking the wrong medication because the doctor's handwriting was so terrible. Here's my question Why, in the day and age of
Right,
technology,
of computers. Why is that not all just printed out?
why can't they have some
Just take
sort
a
of
tablet with them into
app.
and just put it in the tablet?
And I understand that they would
send
still
it
need to
off.
sign it. They can sign it. That part can be done. But why in the world are we still doing the chicken
Yeah.
scratches on there? That doesn't make sense. So there needs to be an app for that. Anyway, coming up, we're going to talk about how the courtroom is changing. That is on the way.
Do you like fun t-shirts? Our friends at 80s Tees have a bunch of fun designs from the movies and pop culture. This month, we are giving you a chance to win a $25 credit to buy the t-shirt you like, with designs from Star Wars, Superman, Ghostbusters, Deadpool, and hundreds of others. Sign up to win a $25 credit. Register for free right now at winthisonline.com. We will select 2 winners at the end of this month. You could be one of them, but only if you register at winthisonline.com.
The physical courtroom may be a thing of the past if Virginia's College of William and Mary has their way. It's called Courtroom 21. It's a project, and they predict that virtual courtrooms will be a thing of the future, with holographic internet video conferencing used to bring together judges and jurors and witnesses and defendants, rather than transporting everybody to the same room. So, in other words, it'll be like a cyber court. Now, that's the end of the story, and I still have a little bit of time to talk about this, and I'm going to spend that time talking about how terrible I think this idea is. Because if you've got... First of all, let me just say this. I have not ever been on a jury before. Never. So if you've been on a jury, you're already one step ahead of me. If the court case that you were there for is interesting, it would probably keep your attention if you were sitting at home in your pajamas. But what if it's not? I think all of the distractions, if everybody was sitting at home, if they weren't required to go in there, if they made it too convenient, because I have been a part of conference calls. I remember one of them where I didn't really have a whole lot to do with this organization, but they wanted me to be on the conference call, so I muted my phone. I didn't say a word. I got like 5 pages of stuff written while I was doing that. I was kind of listening in the background, but I was like, if that's what it would be like for court, if people would say, I'm kind of paying attention, I think we could have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So as much as I understand, they're saying, hey, it's 2016. Let's use the technology. Yeah, that makes sense for some things.
Probably not for important
I
things.
just don't think it's time to change the courtroom yet, because there are things that you can only see if you're in the presence of that person. I think that it would change the outcome of cases if everybody was sitting in their bathrobes at home watching on the internet.
Right.
I just don't think that it would work quite as well. So that's my 2 cents. We've got some good news on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Good news, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Americans are generally happier with their home and work life, but they're overwhelmingly angry at the federal government right now.
Yeah.
This is a new survey from the Associated Press and GFK. They did a poll. Nearly 8 in 10 Americans said they are, quote, dissatisfied or angry with the federal government, end quote. The poll also found that 84% of respondents said they are enthusiastic or satisfied with their own personal relationship, and 77% said that they're very happy and enthusiastic and satisfied about their own personal career. 64% said they were satisfied with their financial situation. So they're saying, according to this survey, we're really happy with the things in our lives that we are somewhat in control of, but we are not so happy with the people that are trying to control us. And I think that is one of the things we're seeing as we've had a huge outcry for what I would refer to as non-traditional candidates in both Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. I think that's why we're seeing the people support the candidates that are not same old, same old. But again, that's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. But according to this survey, they're saying 8 in 10 Americans are dissatisfied or angry with the federal government. And if I gave Heidi even a half a minute to talk about this, you could find out just how
yeah.
dissatisfied she is. If you're friends with Heidi on Facebook, you already know. I think it's funny. There are people that will friend you on Facebook, and they will unfriend you right away. And they're like, "Eee."
That's all right. Those are the people I don't agree with, and I don't want to be friends with anyway. So
I think
bye-bye.
I think I'll just keep listening to Heidi on the
They
radio.
are part of the problem.
Keep listening to her where she's happy. That's a good idea. All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. We appreciate you joining us. Have a wonderful Tuesday.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
And your bonus break is brought to you by the folks at winthisonline.com. And I'll tell you what, there's some really neat stuff. There was another thing added just recently. There's a book. We're going to be talking to Dr. Travis Langley tomorrow about his book, Captain America versus Iron Man. And the movie is in the theaters right now. He's got this really cool book. Stan Lee is the one that wrote the foreword. You can win a copy of that book, and we're going to be giving it away after the interview tomorrow. So be sure to sign up and see if you can become a winner at winthisonline.com. Heidi, I got some questions that were asked at Apple job interviews. So you'd think the people at Apple, they're pretty smart folks typically, aren't they?
Sure, usually.
Yeah, pretty solid business model. So we've got here questions that were asked at the Apple job interview. First question is, who is your best friend?
Oh,
It's an interesting question to ask.
that is an interesting question.
So if you were at a job interview and they were saying, Heidi, who's your best friend? Who would you say the answer to that is?
I don't really have any friends.
You do too. Ask me, who's my best friend?
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say it's me, just because you're going for some points, some bonus
It is
points.
you. You are my best friend. I spend more time with you than anybody. I do all kinds of stuff with you. Next question on here, and I love this question. If you have 2 eggs and you want to figure out what's the highest floor from which you can drop the egg without breaking it, how would you go about doing this?
Well, you would start low and work your way up.
And you'd do what?
You would drop it from the low floor and then another floor. If you're trying to figure out what the highest is without breaking it, you would start low and work your way up.
So and then what? So you could do that until it breaks, basically.
Yeah. And then
you'd
that's
still,
as high as you can go.
Then you'd still have 1 egg left over, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But I wonder if you then go to the next floor and drop that other egg just to make sure.
You would drop that other egg from the floor beneath it and then from the next floor up just to make sure you would do a study.
There you go. See? You're hired. Another question that was asked in an Apple job interview. A man calls in and has an older computer that is essentially a brick. What do you do?
Encourage him to buy a newer computer.
And I think that's a good answer, too. At first, I'd see if there's anything at all that we can do to help this, and then find out if it would make any sense at all. Would it make sense for you to upgrade? Are you kind of considering that? This is pretty outdated. I'll do what I can to help you. I want to help you, but you're going to be limited because the technology has changed so much. So I think that's good. Here's another question asked at an Apple job interview. Heidi, what are your failures, and how have you learned from them?
You want those in alphabetical order?
How much time you got there, interviewer, whatever you are? Have you ever disagreed with a manager's decision, and how did you approach the disagreement? Oh, boy, have I ever. Yes, I have. There's 33 questions in total. I'm going to throw a link on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Go through and read those, and then think to yourself, would I get a job at Apple? Do you think I would get a job at Apple, Heidi? Do you think you would get a job at Apple?
I don't think either one of us would get a job at Apple.
Probably not. I don't know. Hey, a woman revealed that when she got sick at Disney World, she thought that she had simply ridden on too many roller coasters. Turns out she was pregnant with triplets.
Ooh.
She's going to name them Sneezy, Grumpy, and Dopey.
Right.
No, she's not really. That part I made up. But she is really, truly, she was pregnant. That's why she was sick.
I got sick on rides at Disney World.
You
when I
did,
was
but
pregnant.
you were pregnant at the time.
That's what I said. So was she.
But you knew you were pregnant. You were very pregnant. And it said all over the place, pregnant women cannot ride these rides. You're like, yeah, whatever. And
It's just a suggestion.
our daughter's a daredevil, and I think that's why. Hey, a little dog that fell into the Gulf of Mexico near Hernando Beach, Florida, is alive thanks to his life vest. Boaters about 5 miles offshore spotted a Jack Russell Terrier wearing a tiny little animal life vest. The boaters radioed the Coast Guard and were told somebody reported a dog overboard about 3 hours earlier, so the puppy dog was rescued after 3 hours in the ocean because of his life vest.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't even know
I
you
didn't know.
had those.
Yeah, I didn't know you should put a life vest on a dog.
I want to get one now. I know that our dogs don't go near water, but they can wear them around the house just in case. Wacky but true. Drug user calls 911 over incorrect change. Upset that his cocaine dealer gave him the wrong amount of change, a South Carolina drug, not dealer, but the guy that was using it, using the drugs, called police to complain about the unsatisfactory transaction. And they said, well, tell you what, we're going to come over and fill out a report.
Oh, my
You got a
gosh.
minute? Yep.
What an idiot.
The report was his arrest report, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you know that Janet Jackson is pregnant?
I did not.
Her first child. She's 49.
I was going to say, holy cow, she's got to be.
Source says singer Janet Jackson confirms she's pregnant with her first baby. She's 49, and she said she would be postponing the second half of her tour after the, quote, sudden change. So that's cool. Congratulations. I don't know
I
if
hope
she was...
everything goes
I do
well.
too. 49 years young. She's having her first baby. Pakistan. They're up to something kind of weird.
They're always up to something kind of weird.
Smoking dead scorpions.
Ew.
That is something that people are doing in one part of Pakistan. It's the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa area, and I'm sure I nailed that linguistically. The arachnid's venom, when inhaled, produces hallucinations. It also causes memory loss. But to one 74-year-old, this new fad is old news. He says he's been smoking dead scorpions since the mid-'60s, man.
That's fantastic.
He doesn't say man, but I'm sure that's what he would say. If you translated that to English, that's exactly what he would say. And if you're ready for the end, we've got our final story here. You ready for the end?
I'm ready for the end.
All right. How about this? If you hate speeding tickets, and who doesn't, visit Kickstarter and help fund the Tar Tap, a small round device that connects to your smartphone, sits on your car's dash, and alerts you to speed traps, school zones, speed zones, and red light cameras by blinking red and green and blue when you get geographically in the neighborhood of these things. So as you're getting close to a speed trap, I don't know exactly how it knows.
how it would know.
But apparently somebody else notifies it. Oh, speed trap here. And then it instantly tells anybody else that has one. If, again, you want to get the info on Kickstarter, they're doing it right now. It's called Trap Tap. I think I said it differently before. Trap Tap is what it's called.
Huh.
So there you go. I do not want one of those.
Just drive the speed limit.
yeah.
You don't have to worry about
That's
it.
probably a better idea. Obey the rules and don't worry about all that stuff. It's going to do it for your bonus break, brought to you by WinThisOnline.com. I'll tell you, I got some really good news the other day, Heidi.
What's that?
Zubaz, Dan, the guy that invented Zubaz, the pants, they're on WinThisOnline.com.
Yeah.
I asked him to do a $50 gift code on their $50 credit, so he sent over the codes. Guess what he sent me?
What's that?
2 $50 codes.
Ooh, so there's going to be two winners.
There's going to be 2 winners instead of 1. So get on there. On the listing, I think it still says 1. We're helping manage all of that stuff, and it's been a whole lot of fun. If you would like to give away a prize, especially if you could have a prize that's winnable anywhere in the country, I definitely want to talk to you. All of the details can be found at WinThisOnline.com, and you can win prizes there, too. The winning is just the beginning, though. Learn it all at WinThisOnline.com.